HCTV Sports is supported by Balanced Wealth Management, Retirement, Planning, Expertise. Farmers Insurance, the Katie Lindbergh Agency. Katie Lindbergh, Hastings Downtown Farmers Insurance. If you don't know insurance, you need to know her.
First goal of the year goes for the Raiders.
Oh, beautiful shot there. Nicely done. Gets the pin.
How was that beautiful? Onside kick, and it's recovered by Hastings.
And he's rung up for strike 3.
Doblowy! Touchdown Raiders!
All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your patience on the radio. And thank you, everyone who's joining us on HCTV. The partnership continues between me and Hunter. It's going to be awful hard to see. Don't worry about that. The lights will drop, and there'll be a spotlight momentarily on that. Oops, we got an extra button push. There we go. And on the radio dial, we will be going left to right as your Hastings Raiders will be on the left-hand side facing the South St. Paul Packers on the right. Starting lineups about to commence. As mentioned, South St. Paul comes into this game 3-5. Hastings comes into it 5-4. Both have played Two Rivers. Hastings lost. South St. Paul won. Both have faced Anoka. South St. Paul lost and Hastings won. So I'm expecting a very, very tight-fought competition here at Doug Woog Arena. So South St. Paul, a lineup will come second. So the starting lineup for your Hastings Raiders in goal. Number 29. That's going to be Ryan Clemens. He comes into this game with an .884 save percentage and a .280 goals against. Defense for the Raiders, number 27, Mason Beth. And his partner will be number 23, Sawyer Zaruba. That's our both seniors on it. The wingers for the Raiders, two of the leading scorers. This is our second leading scorer, number 14, Blake Vanderhoff. And his partner on the other side, number 21, Johnny Harris, 20 and 18 points respectively. Their center, number 24, Connor Zagota. So that's the line that tends to drive everything offensively for the Raiders. Now, on the other side for the Packers. Oh, dramatic music. In goal. This will be number 33. That's Wyatt Cheney. He's played everything that matters. 3.33 goals against and an .883 save percentage on the year. Defending for South St. Paul, number 8, Jack McClellan. He's their leading point getter with 11 points on the season. His defensive partner is number 29. That's Nick Givens. Up front for the Packers, number 9, Radek Simmons. He is their tied for third in points. He's got 4 goals, 3 assists for 7 points total. Sorry, I just got interrupted there. And the lights are dark, so we'll get the other 2 players momentarily for the rest of that starting lineup. As mentioned, there will be no national anthem as that was played earlier today. Yeah, there we go. The Let's Play Hockey. Boys are confused. Buckets are partially off. And so now the lights come back on in Woog Arena. I got to tell you, a little bit different than when I played here way back in the day. If you look over on the other side here, we're going to go to this first. Goalies, Ryan Clemens, number 28, starting for the Raiders. 2.5 goals against, as I mentioned. Him and Brooks Smirsky splitting time. And then Wyatt Cheney, if you look at that, the number of minutes tells a story. He's played just about everything. Both relatively even if we look at save percentage. The difference is goals against, and part of that can be the attributed to the opponents that they play. But the Raiders come in here with an advantage as far as scoring. We'll see if that comes through. The other advantage we talked about in the pregame is going to be in that special team. South St. Paul comes in with only a 76.7% penalty kill. But as we zoom out, take a look at all that fancy glass over there on the other side above the benches. Those used to be the ricketiest bleachers everywhere. Metro East Conference standings, Hill Murray, St. Thomas on top, no surprise. But what is a surprise, Two Rivers right behind them at 2-1. South St. Paul 1-1. Hastings 1-2 to come in fourth. And another surprise, Matamidi, not only 1-2 in the conference, but 3-7 overall. Big difference as they lose their goaltender, Ben Dardis, who graduated. He was a 4-year starter. And the puck is dropped. Going to the left, that's Zaruba. Zaruba flips it up, and that is ramped up by Johnny Harris into the bleachers here. So a quick first stoppage in this first period here. Face-off will go right back to center ice. We'll pretend that first one never really happened. We are joined as well by Town Center TV, I believe. So we've got a whole bunch of people streaming and showing. But thank you so much for tuning in on AM 1460 KDWA to listen to this. Here comes Beff now tries to flip it up. That goes past him. Puck dumped him. Clemens has it. Gonna short bounce pass. Got to put more zip on that as that's easily turned over to number 9, Roddick Simons. Simons now loses it. Here comes Vanderhoff. Vanderhoff and Harris. Harris times it at the blue. Vanderhoff gives it over to that Zagoda. Unable to get a handle on it, so he's going to send it low. Harris behind the net of the netminder, Cheney. So we'll use Cheney as our demarcation and Clemens. Now Vanderhoff, short side shot. That misses. Harris has it. Looking for it. Cheney lost it momentarily and then chipped out to the center. Here's Beff. Back down. Zagoda wheeling, and that one just rolls off the back of his stick, and it's picked up by a Packer and chipped out. But Beff able to hold it in momentarily before Roman Knight, number 87, sends it into the neutral zone. It's rung back in, right to left, behind the net of Cheney. Here comes 29, Nick Gibbons. He sends it to the near side. Again, that's just a little bit too far for the Packers, and now Johnny Taglin plays give and take with Carlson. Carlson, diagonal pass up, stretching it, and that one, as Wahlstrom tried to give her the old boot, but unable to do so, and so we're going to have an icing against the Raiders, and we will come back all the way. Tomorrow, this will be just on radio, and then on the last game, Hunter will be helping out Town Center as they broadcast the championship and third place game. Town Square, why did I say Town Center again? See, it's the building. I had it perfect when I was at our barn. I promise I will get back to Town Square again instead of Town Center. Now here's Teglin, rings it around. That's Wahlstrom, chips it up, but it's held in by the Packers momentarily. Now they send it back around. Clemens is going to stop it and leave it. That's Carlson, number 19, on the near side boards. Centered. That goes off a Geib stick, picked up by a Packer. That's Jackson Schultz, goes D to D. Up to number 92, Jackson Horning. I wonder if South St. Paul's buying their own jerseys. Pretty rare that you see these kind of numbers, and a lot more schools going to the athletes actually having to buy their own jerseys in a lot of sports based on just the reality of economics. Now this puck is reversed. That was Chumslin who gives it over to Carlson. Carlson, nice centering pass to Teglin, and that's a turnover. Dangerous play. South St. Paul is going to dump it in. Stopped by Clemens, and that'll allow South St. Paul to change. And here comes Teglin. Near side, stops, hits the brakes right at the goal line. That'll make anyone nervous if he's a goalie coach. Puck bounced up. That's ahead. And that was number 8, Will Savage, trying to get a piece of it. Just misses on the stretch pass, and so we're going to come back all the way into the into the Raiders zone. Okay, we'll try this again. Hunter will glare at me if I get it wrong. Town Square TV will be broadcasting on the championship and third place game. Hunter will be helping out. We on KDWA will be broadcasting it here. So that will not be a partnership. You'll just catch it with me as Trey Lauer will be helping me out. Now rung around. That's Kraut. Kraut gets a touch on it. Nope, they're going to say he did not. Nope, they did say waved off. Now here down deep in the Packers zone. That's number 7, Austin Shanks and Will Savage battling. Both two. Shanks has it momentarily. Savage bounces at it. Now swats it deep. Shanks in the deep right corner. Low to high for Niederkorn. Niederkorn steps in, holds it in. Ooh, if that's the NHL, Savage is going to the box. You see a Packer who is holding his face. His numerical counterpart, number 8, Jack McClellan, holding his throat there as Savage, as he was going for the puck, had his stick get up a little bit high, and so that popped him. But there's no replay and there's no blood, so no penalty is assessed, as we are still waiting for our first shot on goal. 14:31 left here in this first period. Raiders and Packers scoreless at Doug Woog Arena. Face-off won by the Raiders. Rung around. That one kicked off of Kraut's foot. And battling in the corner is Kraut and Savage. 2-on-2 battle. South St. Paul's number 2, Jake Maurer. He rings it up ahead, and the Raiders are pinching at the blue line. That's Niederkorn again. It goes across the blue line of the Packers and then into the neutral zone where Zaruba definitely picks it up, backtraps, and goes D to D to Niederkorn. Centering pass picked off by the Packers. Dangerous turnover. Zaruba's stick is caught high. Helmet is loose. No penalty on that one. And then Zaruba plants a little bit of wood. Our first opportunity for a pancake of the game. I think we can get a bigger one later. Here comes Kraut. Crosses the red. Then the blue. Hits the brakes at the Packers zone. And does a cross crease dump there. Left to right. Zagoda has it. Here comes that first line for the Raiders. Zagoda with Vanderhoff and Harris. Zagota and Harris battling down low. Harris 2-on-1 there. Now Beff is going to step in. He gets that one shot off his skate, and so the Raiders are going to retreat. For Harris, sends it to the right-hand side for Vanderhoff. Zone entry, chip to the middle. Zagota shot! Saved by Cheney. Our first shot on goal, steered to the corner. Raiders still with possession behind the net. Here's Zagota. Has it, reverses in that deep left corner. Vanderhoff picks it up. Now interchange on the top with Teglin. Shot! That's looking for a rebound. Just goes to the corner. Cheney doing a good job so far of controlling those rebounds. Low to high to Beff on the right-hand side. Walks the blue. Has a body in the lane, so he's going to just dump it off the near side corner, try and maintain possession. And there is Vanderhoff. Now it's rung back to the right side again to Beff. Chips it down to Harris. We're back where we started. Harris up to Zagota. Zagota on the half wall. Walks. Spins. Tries to get it deep. Doesn't. And so the puck will go out into the Raiders zone. No icing as Teglin retreats behind the net of Clemens. He stops and sets up. Centering pass stretch. Picked off. Raiders are 0 for 2 on that. Walking in. Shot. Saved by Clemens. High one. Hard to handle. That was Jack McClellan, their leading point getter, who ripped it in off that pickoff. Here's Zagota now, drop pass. Vandy across to Harris, looking to tip it in. Doesn't get an angle on it, so that puck just dies as Vandy dumps it to the right-hand corner. Harris ridden off the puck. Now Kreck has it. That's chipped to the middle. Number 5, Kreck gets it out. Now turnover the other way. Here comes Carlson, 1-on-3. Walks in, shot. Deflected by Kreck into the right-hand corner, and we are at 12 minutes. Another shot, and a deep in his crease. Cheney swallows that one up. 12:08 left. Shots on goal, 4-1 for the Raiders here. And again, the stretch passes are not working for the Raiders. 0 for 2, a little bit too telegraphed, and that one led to a really, really good scoring chance by Jack McClellan. Luckily, the shot was from far enough out that Clemens was able to get a chest on it, and then the rebound, luckily, nobody was there. Now a shot, misses short side. Here comes Zaruba. Zaruba riding and down. Behind the net, gives it over to Geib. Geib looking for an outlet up top. He's sent down to the ice, and the Packers now step out into the neutral zone. Good job. Here comes Geib back. He's got the puck on his stick. Drop pass, driving the net. Geib goes around behind, looking for someone. Instead reverses it. Short side, now low to high at the blue. Carlson walks. Wrister trying for a deflection, misses on the far side, and Zaruba will pick up. Zaruba now dancing around, has it in his feet. 2-on-2 low, and picked up. Pushed ahead of Wallstrom, and Carlson's going to throw it, trying to get it on net. That ends up on the stick of Erb, number 18 for the Packers. Here's McClellan on the near side. Puck goes in the neutral zone. Chance, 2-on-1, just a little too far ahead of Chumslin. He had Savage with him, and now Carlson's going to dump it in. Raiders are still off. Savage didn't hear it, so we'll get a whistle here. Nope. Now he retreats. Referee very generous on that. That'll allow the Packers, though, to get out of the zone, as the Raiders had to back up all 4. Savage does a good job swinging in left to right in the neutral zone, pushes that puck onto Shanks' stick, and then the Packers go right to left in front of the Raiders' board. D-to-D pass from Niederkorn to Beff. Beff gets the blue, then the red, and he's going to ring that down. Cheney goes back to stop it. That'll prevent Kraut from getting it. Cheney, good job bringing it up, but there's Beff there on the half wall, pinching down, and it chips past Shank. Foot race. Here come the Raiders. That was a dangerous play. Clemens almost came out of his net to play it. Realized number 10, Niederkorn's going to have it, so he stays in. Now a nice little outlet. Here comes Kraut. He's got Savage with him. Kraut dancing in the middle, and no shot. And then Niederkorn pinching in, following the play, rips one that just goes up and over. Might have hit a stick and ends up in the netting. And so the score remains tied 0-0. Again, good play by Kraut to come in, dances through, ends up though losing it, pushed off the puck, and a smart play by Niederkorn to crash. One of the things we talk about a lot with how Coach Klein wants him to play is positionless. We'll see guys racing up the ice from different positions. It is not uncommon at all for the Raiders to have 2 defensemen down below the goal line if that's what the situation necessitates. Now the face-off in the Raiders' possession inside the Packers zone. It chips out though to Teglin. Teglin on this side of the red line, crosses but without the puck. And so now here come the Packers. That's 29. Nick Givens, defenseman. He had it momentarily before the Raiders take it over, and we're playing no one wants it hockey in the neutral zone. Packers offsides as number 9, Roddick Simmons, unable to stay there. Simmons, one of the top point getters for the Packers. He has 4 goals, 3 assists on the season. This is the line that if you're the Packers, you're watching out for. Zagota wins that draw. Zaruba D-to-D, now chipped. That's going to find Harris, 2-on-1. Harris walks in, short side, shot, rebound. It just didn't quite get there. He had it set up. And now we're battling in front. Cheney sprawling. The puck is kicked out. Zagota's going to hammer that. There's an absolute wall of people, and the puck is, I have no idea where it is. They're waving everything off. That's Johnny Teglin in the crease. Cheney's laying there like a dead man, sprawled head first. Zagota just absolutely hammered that puck. Cheney still down, unfortunately, and I hope he's okay. Now he's starting to work his way back up. An absolute flurry. Cheney comes out with a bucket that's discombobulated enough, and he's going to take a little moment here to get himself reoriented. Not sure how that puck didn't go in. Started with a great play by Harris to get that shot, looking for the rebound. He then drives on the short side. You can see that puck is just battling. It goes low to high to Zagota. I have no idea. Cheney actually has his helmet off and his blocker covering his head. They finally blow it. Trainer out to check on Cheney. Cheney looks okay, so that's good. Definitely shaken by that play, and so number 29 goes and checks on him. That's Nick Gibbons, his defenseman. Face-off will ensue to the left. Face-off dot inside the Packers zone. Zagota steps in. He's got Vandy on the short side looking for that quick one-timer. He gets it to him. Vandy shot, rebound there, and then Harris ended up going back, and so if he just takes 2 steps forward, that's on his stick. Big hit as that one just goes out of play with the puck, but nobody down, no pancakes given. So our leader in the clubhouse still Zaruba for the Perkins pancake, but I'm asking for a friend, and that friend is me. I know that I'm 104 by wanting it, but I just can't find it anywhere. Face-off now, won by the Raiders. Short side chip. Here comes Vanderhoff trying to get in the middle, unable to do so, and the Packers are going to send it back to Teglin inside the Raiders zone. Puck chipped. Here comes Four. He's got help in front. Slide pass. Zaruba, good defensive stick. Now shot. Bounces up into Clemens, and a couple of pushes and shoves is going to get some teenage testosterone going. Hopefully cooler heads will prevail. It looks like it's done. But again, really dangerous play. Zaruba with a great job on his stick to get that out. It goes low to high, and then it bounces into Clemens, and a couple of guys pushing and shoving into each other. No big deal. We'll see how the referees handle that as it goes on. 9:08 left here in this first period of a scoreless game in the first round of this Premier Tournament. I feel like there's a whole lot of Premier Holiday tournaments, but this one has been going on forever. Here's Geib. He's got the puck in the Raiders zone, gives it down behind the net to Niederkorn. Niederkorn gives it back, and then that centering pass for Wahlstrom doesn't find his stick, and now retreating is Maurer, number 2 for the Packers. He floats it out in the neutral zone where Chumsland had it momentarily, now chips it ahead, looking for Wahlstrom, and the Raiders now trying to establish a forecheck. Packers exit the zone. They've got some space here. That one's too far ahead for number 92, Jackson Horning. Horning ridden off the puck by Niederkorn, and now Carlson gives it a low to high pass that just goes to a Packer. Luckily, it ends up back on Carlson's stick behind the Raider net. Rung around to Geib. Geib centering pass. That goes off a Chumsland's stick and back onto Horning. He's on his backhand, driving in, short side. Unable to get the shot off as Niederkorn was all over him. And now behind the net is Chumsland. Chumsland reverses direction for Carlson. Carlson going to give it to Geib, trying to center that. Does so enough, and here comes Chumsland. He's going to wisely flip it up and in on Cheney behind the net. First one there is a Raider. That looks like Wahlstrom. Wahlstrom low to high. Carlson shot, looking for the rebound. Raiders doing a good job from the point, just trying to hit that far pad. Haven't had the rebound kick where they want it yet, but they're getting closer. Behind the net it goes. That's Maurer to the near side, but Beff is pinched. Centering pass for Savage. He wasn't ready for it. I don't think he thought Beff was going to get there, and then the shot from Zaruba on the left circle goes into the breadbasket of Cheney.
HCTV Sports is supported by Balanced Wealth Management, Retirement Planning and Expertise.
Tilted his head like a confused dog whenever I would use intelligent words. I think he was surprised I knew him. So we're going to keep trying to throw in some multisyllabic things here as Zaruba pokes it ahead to Shanks. Shanks going in, centers it to Savage. Savage, short side shot. That fired wide as Kraut now backhands it behind the net. Kraut to Savage. Savage ridden off the puck. 2-on-2. There's Shanks. He has it. Steps around on his forehand. Centering pass. Beff was playing defense on that. He was close. Now he's down pitching in that forecheck on that offensive zone. So covering high is Kraut. Beff still battling. Swats at it. That bounces up over the stick. And at that right hash, right on the boards, we've got a 3-on-2 battle. Raiders come up with it. Drop pass, Shanks steps around, gives it to Beth. Beth looking short side, shot tip, deflection. Cheney got a left foot on it, and now we're going to have a breakaway for the Packers. Number 11 drives in. Great back check by Zaruba. Prevents that from being anything other than a short side dump. That is Vincent Balsamo, who just wasn't able to get enough zip on his feet there to come in and break away as a great back check by Zaruba. Here's Beff inside the Raiders zone. Going to be a turnover. He's been out for a while. Gets that puck in the neutral zone at least. And it's sent behind. Clemens is going to stop it for Zaruba. That allows Beff to change. So on comes Carlson. Here comes Zaruba. Off on the right-hand side. Has it knocked off his stick. Now they walk in. South St. Paul's Carlson steps over at 87. Drop pass. Ends up nowhere until Vanderhoff has it. Now we play, I don't want the puck, you don't want the puck. Let's just throw it in deep. Zaruba, again, has it in his feet. Rung up to the near side board where a Packer waits. Then a shot from the point. Hits a Packer in the biscuit. That's Roddick Simmons, who took one right in the chicklets. Luckily, he's wearing that cage. Otherwise, that one would have necessitated a trip to the doctor. Instead, it just ends up being a block shot for the Raiders. And the face-off will ensue in center ice as the puck was cleared after that. Not often you thank the opposing forward for deflecting a puck, but that time, I'm not sure if Clemens saw it as, again, Simmons was streaking across. So 6 minutes left here in a very fast-paced first period. Harris walks in, almost gets a shot off, but a good stick from a Packer defender has that one going up the other way. Here comes the Packers. Drop pass, centering, shot, save, rebound, shot again. Good redirection by Clemens, as that would have been very, very dangerous. Packers now counterpunching, so Raiders going to have to be careful with how aggressive they pinch at times. Here's Teglin and Zagota behind the Raiders net. Zagota rides him off. Now Teglin chips it up. Harris and Vanderhoff in tight to prevent anything, so that ends up on a Packer stick. Now bounce pass behind the boards. Here comes Teglin. Teglin, diagonal pass to Vanderhoff. Vanderhoff has time and space. Gives it to Harris. Harris leaves it. Vanderhoff's going to be the first one there. Now Zagota's going to go behind the net. But the Packers have it, and they get it out into the neutral zone. Here they come, 2-on-2. Shot, blocker to the front, rebound, just laying there. That was number 5, Tim Kreck, who got one on Clemens. Clemens saw it, though, and put a big blocker on it. Now we go the other way. Here's 87. Goes to his backhand, driving around Teglin. Shot, rebound, poked ahead. And Harris sends it to Vanderhoff. Good job by the Raiders wingers getting in deep to help out. Here's Vanderhoff. Going to ring it left to right behind the net of number 33, Wyatt Cheney, and allow the Raiders to get a change. Here's Geib, who's going to be the first forechecker. Now he's relieved by Chumslin. Chipped out ahead of both of those forwards for the Raiders. Now Niederkorn has to turn. That puck is in the corner deep. Good job by Chumslin again. Amazing how hard that kid works. Both ends. Wallstrom steps around. That's a turnover shot. Hits a Packer. Goes to the neutral zone. Chumslin, by the way, was the first forechecker. And the next thing I know, the puck is back in the Raiders zone, and Chumslin is the second guy back behind the net. So a 200-foot game for number 26 continues. Chumslin drop pass to Niederkorn. Niederkorn chips it up and out into the neutral zone. Too far for Wallstrom, but Wallstrom's able to get at least a poke on it before Jake Maurer has it. Maurer gets in the neutral zone where it's fed too far for Horning. And it goes D to D and back. Niederkorn and Beff playing keep away. Now diagonal, there's another one, and that one ramps up into the Packers bench. And so we'll see where they do this. This should be a neutral zone faceoff. Again, the dangerous turnovers we're seeing here, but really, really good job by the Raiders here in front to collapse. You can see both wingers, Vanderhoff and Harris, inside the dot. Heck, at that point, both of them inside the hash marks, cleaning up any juicy rebounds that Clemens has left out there. Face-off won by the Raiders. Tipped on the stretch pass by Savage. That'll allow it to go 200 feet. Now deep into the corner. That's Shanks and Kraut. Puck is chipped out ahead of him into Carlson's feet. And it's going to get past him, but that's okay. Beff is there at the hash marks inside the Raiders zone. He's going to slow down, delay, send it up to Savage. Savage has it roll off his stick, but it's offside. So Carlson now continues, gets it up from Kraut. Now Carlson has 2 in front. That's Savage. And the puck was unable to get there. Carlson continues his forecheck now onto that hash. Dragging his Beff. Good bounce pass to the short side. Finds a bunch of traffic. Right idea by Beff. It just didn't get there. And so now back they regroup D to D. It goes Beff to Carlson, up to Wallstrom, and then sent down on Cheney. Now behind the net, Cheney leaves it. A little bit of a miscommunication between the two. Cheney and his defenseman. as we are under 3 minutes here in this first period. Raiders and Packers scoreless, 6 shots apiece. Puck is sent down, and here comes that Raiders scoring line. Harris has it. He's ridden off the puck, and Cheney covers it as Harris pushed into the net. It tips over, and a little stick tap there from Cheney to let him know, I know it wasn't you, buddy.
HCTV Sports is supported by Farmers Insurance, the Katie Lindbergh Agency. Katie Lindbergh, Hastings Downtown Farmers Insurance. If you don't know insurance, you need to know her.
And on Wednesday, well, it depends on how, on Thursday, I don't even know what day it is. On Thursday, it depends on how it's going, whether the Raiders and Town Square TV will be broadcasting separately, but kind of together. In other words, we'll be both broadcasting the game. You can listen to Raider coverage here on KDWA. Just depends on what game the Raiders are in. Town Square will be covering the third and first place game. Now Vanderhoff, drop pass for Zagota, chipped up to the near side to Zaruba. Zaruba dancing, holds. Zagota and Zaruba really tight at the blue line, and the puck goes to the neutral zone for Teglin. Teglin now has it, given back. Raiders keep retreating as they go back to keep possession of the puck. Here's Teglin in the zone, bounce pass, chipped up by a Packers, number 87, before Harris has it momentarily. 87 again, that's Roman Knight, sends it through. And here come, what do we got there? No call. I think they were talking about potentially a hand pass or a high stick, but either way, now the Packers have it. Teglin steps in, Zagota behind the net, flips it to the left-hand side. Centering pass, that's too far for Vanderhoff. From Harris, Packers now with possession deep in their zone. They chip it up to Knight, and he's going to get a stick on it. Not enough to get it deep, so Zagota's going to layer defense, chip it up to Harris, and they're going to say offsides against the Packers. So under 2 minutes, very few stoppages in this game. There's been a couple of icings, a couple of offsides, and a couple of pucks into the benches. But regardless, the Raiders and Packers scoreless here in this first game of this premier tournament from Doug Woog Arena. Chumslin, he wins that faceoff cleanly. Goes back to Carlson, pressured by Horning, number 92. We've heard his name a couple of times here. Chumslin now has it. He's going to push it past Maurer, the defender, and going to the corner is Schultz. Number 6, Jackson Schultz meets Chumslin. Battle ensues. Chipped out, Geib has it, low to high. Gets it to the half wall. Wallstrom tries to walk in. Unable to do so, so he retreats it to Geib. Geib's going to set it back down deep, cycling. Looked like he was going to set it up to the point for a moment to Niederkorn. Instead, it's down deep, and Horning now has it. Put out outside of the Packers zone. Raiders now forced to tag up as Carlson sends it right to left on that cross corner dump. Behind the net, giving chase is Wallstrom. That forced it low to high. Niederkorn shot as Cheney steers it to the corner. Raiders still have possession. Here's Shanks. Interchange, turnover, dangerous. That one was a little bit too telegraphed, and here come the Packers. 3-on-2. Number 5, shot, far side for Kreck, and that goes up to the near side boards. Play by Shanks. Shanks is pretty happy that he didn't get all of that, as now Carlson is harassed by the aforementioned Kreck, and the puck goes in the corner. Wallstrom battling. 2 Packers. Here comes Shanks. It's chipped out. Raiders in the middle of a change. And so it's going to retreat 200 feet. And so with 29.9 seconds left, the faceoff will be to the right of the netminder Cheney. Not surprising. Raiders going to finish this period with this first line. Again, between the 3, Harris, Vanderhoff, and Zagota, we've got a combined 52 points between those 3. Cleanly won. Zagota has been great in that face-off circle. Now, Zaruba gives it to Vanderhoff. Vanderhoff shot, high shoulder rebound, and Cheney covers. He really struggled with that one. Vanderhoff almost clips him over the left ear on a great win. Zaruba, nice patience up top, gives it back to Vandy, and Vandy, you'll see him change the angle there, drag it across. It was actually his right ear, left from my perspective, as Cheney fought that one off. If he's a half-inch deeper when Cheney drops, that puck is going in the net. One again by Zagota. Now same play. Back to Vanderhoff. Vanderhoff, a little bit pressure this time, trying to get the deflection. Harris with there was a stick down, and into the corner we go. 12 seconds left. Harris, short side shot, deflected. Now kept in by Zaruba. Zaruba, wrister. Raiders just trying to pepper anything they can at Cheney here. And with that, the time will expire in this first period. Raiders and Packers scoreless after 17 minutes here on AM 1460 KDWA. We will take a commercial break on the radio side. We'll be back at the end of this intermission on TV. We should have an interview with Coach Klein here momentarily. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Josh Colvin on AM 1460 KDWA. ish. And here we go with HCTV as we all try to line everything up here. Thank you so much for sticking with us. It is second period action about to be underway. I told you in the broadcast 3-5 South St. Paul, 5-4 Hastings, and I figured it would be close. Hastings lost to Two Rivers and beat Anoka pretty handily. South St. Paul beat Two Rivers pretty handily and then lost really handily to Anoka, so who knows what the heck to expect. But I can tell you both teams have had chances. Raiders' chances have come on sustained pressure, specifically in that first line. We saw Cheney sprawled all over head first, protecting his head as Zagota just unloaded a howitzer as there was a huge scramble in front of the net. On the other end, South St. Paul trying to take advantage of really turnovers, change of direction, and stretch passes to get their shots on goal in that period, 8-6 in favor of the Raiders. And so we will see what happens here in the second period. South St. Paul comes out with what looks to be the same line we saw starting in that first period, specifically on the back end defending Jack McClellan and number 29, Nick Givens. Raiders starting where you would expect up front was Zagota, Harris, Vanderhoff, and then on the back end, Beth and Zaruba. So the Raiders, we'll see if this is the lineup match that South St. Paul wants. Face-off, puck is dropped, and now the Raiders will go right to left. That centering pass just too far for Vanderhoff, and Cheney gets a handle on it as a good play by Zaruba. Had a streaking Vanderhoff. He just had to go off the toe of his stick, and we almost had a breakaway right off of the puck drop here as a really, really good job by Zaruba to see Vanderhoff coming from that right-hand side as they had switched. Now we're back to our normal lineup. Zagota again wins that face-off. Puck is rung deep right to left behind Cheney. Not quite getting there as McClellan now sends up the near side boards, and Vanderhoff's going to have to retreat in the neutral zone. He slides it up ahead to Zagota. That bounces off of his stick and ends up on the defender, Nick Gibbons' stick. He's going to go to the right-hand side for his own entry with Zimmons. That just doesn't quite get there, and Zagota now has it in his body, battling, tries to maintain possession. Spin move, hits the old circle on the PlayStation stick, and then has that puck go off his twig into the other corner. Beff now pinching. Vanderhoff tries to walk, looks, delays. Backhand, low to high. Zaruba from the point. Shot. That one, Cheney didn't see the Raiders doing a good job taking away the eyes, and now Beff has it. He takes a seat, chips it down, does Zaruba, and Harris has it. Centering pass, tries to find Vanderhoff. And why didn't your parents give you a left-handed stick when you were born? Oh, if he's a lefty, that's a goal. Instead, we get a shot from the point that ramps up and ends up in the netting. And so a face-off will ensue as that ramp was held by a Packer. Raiders line change, Packers as well. Stepping in to take the face-off. On the far dot, inside the Packer zone is Chumslin. Chumslin waits for it. He's got Wallstrom and Geib with him. He wins that back to Geib. Geib lets it go, and that ends up in no man's land. Teglin with a good stick prevents that puck from getting any deeper as Jackson Horning was trying to make a rush. Now Clemens rings it around behind as Carlson too close to Clemens to read what that play is set to do. The goal there is for the D as the Raiders are going to ice it. The goal is for the D to recognize Clemens has it and wants to play the puck and to split so that it's about a 20-foot, 25-foot pass. Instead, Carlson gets right up into the wheelhouse of Clemens, and so that ring pass just goes behind him, and we end up with an icing as a result here. So 15:40 left in the first period. Scoreless, and the first face-off inside the Raiders zone in the second period will commence. Chumslin now. That puck ends up on his stick off the faceoff, pushes it ahead to Wallstrom. Wallstrom over to Geib. Geib drop pass. Wallstrom trying to get a lot on it, then bounced off. Shot behind the net. Geib tries to wrap around, rushes it. If he realized he had a little bit more time, I think he can actually just tuck it in. Instead, we are back as the Packers dump it deep inside the Raiders zone. Chumslin now going to get it behind Clemens. Centering pass, finds a white jersey. That's number 5, and I don't know what he's shooting at there as he rips it off the side boards. Now behind the net, the Raiders set up. Too far for Geib and held in by number 6. That's Jackson Schultz. Sends it to the deep right corner where Teglin has it. Teglin now pushed up on his offhand, so he's going to lose possession. It bounces to the middle. Geib has it. Steps out. Good delay to get it to Wallstrom. Raiders have numbers. Centering pass comes across off the boot of Teglin. Goes deep. Those are new boots, by the way. Teglin breaking in the new senior skates about a couple of weeks ago. And now here comes South St. Paul exiting the zone. They slide it through the legs of Savage. And number 92, that's Jackson Horning, sends it deep. Raiders on a change, have a chance here. They send it, and offsides was Kraut. Stretch pass from Teglin, and Kraut a little bit early, got that left foot, and so instead of an offensive zone rush, we're going to end up with a defensive zone face-off to the left of Clemens here with 14:29 left here in this scoreless second period. Stepping into Shanks. That's a neutral drone draw. Nice hit there by Carlson. Excuse me, that's Niederkorn, number 10, laying some lumber. Still not a pancake. I mean, it was a pancake, but it's not worthy. As Kraut tries to enter the competition, unable to do so too much as Shanks ends up with somebody else's twig. He's holding on to it, and the referee is fooled enough. 12 is not happy about it. Shanks gets away with one there. And the Raiders now enter the zone. Here comes Savage on his off wing. Turns, delays. Gives it up to Shanks. A little bit too tight are the Raiders. Now Kraut steps around in tight space. Centering pass, and here come the Packers. Too far for 26, but Zaruba's there to layer over it, and he sends it up. And that's offsides for the Packers. Nobody really with possession as Savage now hammers it, sends it deep. Zagota in, battling. Good body position there by Zagota. Now he's going to try and retrieve it. Centering pass on the backside for Harris. He lifted the stick of Balsamo and unable to pull the trigger there. Now Harris comes out with it on his offhand. Centering pass! Another left-hander would have tapped it in. And as usual, the Raiders with their plethora of righties just miss on the backside. Harris shot, rebound. Harris keeps it, looking, delays behind the net. Dipsy doodles around, tries to keep possession, goes down in a big pile. Zagota comes out with it, walks the top of the circle, shot, short side, misses. That took a weird bounce into the feet of the gentleman with the zebra stripes, and now the Raiders send it back up to Vanderhoff. Ripper, high, blocker side, misses. Goalie loses it, Cheney doesn't see it. Harris unable to score. Now he tries to center it. That was to Vanderhoff. Zagota and Harris play keep away, and it just misses, slides 200 feet, and that's not an icing. So Beth, stretch pass. Zagota chips it in, and now going to work is Harris and Vanderhoff. Cheney is going to get it, ring it over to the right-hand side where a waiting Raider is there. That's Chumsland, number 26. Raiders in kind of a mixed line change. Harris, the last one from that first line, getting ready to change. Gives it to Carlson. Harris now centering pass. Wallstrom steps around on his backhand. Shot as he left it for Teglin. That one flies over the top of the netminder, Cheney. Raiders with sustained pressure, and number 8, Jack McClellan, with probably the biggest hit so far, but I gotta bet he's probably a good 60 pounds heavier than Johnny Harris. Harris now takes a seat on the bench after taking a seat on the ice momentarily. Puck finds its way back to McClellan inside the Packer zone. He's gonna try and stretch it out, does so, finds Rosales. Rosales comes in, that's a 4-on-4 battle, meaning the numbers. Now centering pass, good job by Carlson, get a stick there. As a waiting Packer, number 87 was sitting there hoping. That was Roman Knight, and the Raiders now enter the zone. Teglin, shot, misses, far side high. Chumsland will retrieve, and we have a Packer down on the near side blue. With that, we're going to take a quick commercial break on the radio side. We'll be right back on AM 1460. Raiders and Packers tied 0-0.
HCTV Sports is supported by Farmers Insurance, the Katie Lindbergh Agency. Katie Lindbergh, Hastings Downtown Farmers Insurance. If you don't know insurance, you need to know her.
All right, we're back here as that is number 8, McClellan, getting up gingerly. We've seen McClellan throw his weight around. Really, really good player defensively. Has done a really good job, so hopefully he's okay, and we'll keep an eye out to see if he is back on the ice in this game. Raiders now will have a face-off inside the Packer zone on the near side face-off dot here. 11:45 left in the second period of a scoreless game between the South St. Paul Packers and the Hastings Raiders. Oop, they're going to set it up on the far side dot. So directly across from me and to the left of the netminder, Cheney. Walking in is going to be Chumsland, Geib, and Wallstrom. Face-off, neutral. Puck is on a Raider stick, momentarily bouncing all over. Wallstrom finally settles it, but then throws it back up. Looking to give it to the D, ends up on a blue stick after a kind of a turnabout of everyone bouncing it. And Zaruba rips it, but that goes ramped up again into the netting above the netminder, Cheney. Face-off will go right back where we started, so we'll see if we can do a little bit cleaner this time. Chumson, Zaruba was pinching down, hoping it was going to die again. This time, Chumson did a really good job of batting it back. Now here comes Chumson, chips it in to the right. Good job by Wallstrom, going to be that first forechecker. Battling hard, pins it in, Wallstrom. And then Chumson behind the net. Two really, really good active forechecks on that. That allows Zaruba to pinch down on the right hash. Raiders, 2-on-2, deep low. That's Wallstrom. He's going to work his way up. Interchange. Geib now down on the right-hand side. South St. Paul doing a good job keeping everything to the outside. That's Maurer and Schultz. Schultz goes for a diving check there and ends up on the wrong side of that. Now Packers have it. Geib low to high on this left side. So South St. Paul doing a really, really good job of keeping everything outside of the box here on every line except for that first one. Raiders now playing along, just kind of ringing it back and forth. This time it's Chumson. Again, pitching in Geib. Now Chumson walks out, shot. That one gets a stick from, it looks like either Schultz or Hornung, and that one flips it up into the netting. So a face-off will ensue again. Raiders starting to lean on time of possession here for the Packers. Again, doing a great job in the corner. You can see two forwards battling hard in Geib and, in Wallstrom and Chumson. In that case, Geib sitting up at F3, and that just led to a great opportunity there where Chumson walked to the middle. Now Shanks wins it clean. Back to Niederkorn. Niederkorn rings it behind the net to Savage. Savage looking in the front, unable to pull the trigger. He had Kraut going with him. So Kraut retrieves it, diagonal up to the top. Beff, shot, looking to get it through. That hit a couple of bodies in front. Now it's rung around left to right. There's number 8, Jack McClellan, who was shaken up earlier, back on the ice. Good to see that as the puck goes out in the neutral zone for the Raiders. Beff, far side. Stepping around, chipped, here's Savage in. Rister, his stick was slashed at the last second. Good play by McClellan to prevent a clean shot by Savage. 8-on-8 hate right there. Now Shanks makes McClellan pay, as Beff keeps it in, rung down, and Shanks goes back in. Shanks and McClellan. No F2 for the Raiders, and so that's why it pops out, but held in. Good job by Johnny Harris. We're in the middle of a change here. So number 21, reading and waiting, goes off of Kraut's stick. Held in. Now Shanks is going to get it. Turns. Delays. And then exposes it in the middle. Good job changing. Here's Vanderhoff. Looking. Shot. Misses. Looking high glove. That's just a breakout pass. As it goes all the way back to Zagota. So that'll allow South St. Paul to get a little bit of a mix. Now good play. Transition hockey here. Raiders enter the zone. Vanderhoff overskates it momentarily. Drops it back to Zaruba behind the net to Harris. Harris looking. He's got Zagota and Harris. Just slides in between, splits the uprights, and now Clemens has it. Clemens looks, flips it up, past that first forechecker, bounce pass over Zagota. Now here comes Vanderhoff, waiting to see if it's settled. Good poke by number 29, Nick Givens. So it definitely seems like the Packers want to have Givens and McClellan on the ice versus this Raiders' first line. Harris and Carlson battling. Harris now has it knocked off his stick, sliding out. Packers try to counterpunch. Here comes number 9. Gives it up to 97 or 87, rung down to the right-hand side. That was Knight. And into the Raiders zone we go. Momentarily, though, as here come the Raiders. This is Vanderhoff, near side. On his offhand on the left-hand side. Hits the brakes. Diagonal pass looking for Carlson. Too many bodies there. As 87 for the Packers on the back check. Gets a piece of it. And then sends it up the other way. They're going to say no ice as Zaruba and number 23 for the Packers. Now shot, short side, weirdly bobbled up into the belly of Clemens, and I'm pretty sure he needs to go to the Bauer store and pick up a new twig. I got to tell you want to talk about how crazy this is. I go to the Bauer store today to buy my son a new twig. As we see this here, is the length of the stick for the goalies makes a difference. You'll see this puck kind of bobble up a little bit into him there, and holy cannoli. The idea that I was so excited that I only paid $153 for a stick, so I bought 2 and I'm going back tomorrow to get a 3rd, seems insane. Shot now, short side on Clemens, as here comes Beth. Moral of the story is look for coupons and deals. Teglin now on the near side, sends that up, rips it too far, and so we will have an icing as it goes the other way. Hey, shout out to the Kraut family again. Arizona, Fargo, Detroit. Man, it's amazing that a little radio broadcast like this can get so far. You would think that AM signal dies somewhere around Brainerd or Bemidji is my guess, but apparently not. So shout out to the entire family tuning in to catch Braden Kraut, number 20. Rung off that set play. That was too far for Geib. As you can see, the Raiders have a couple of different offensive zone and defensive zone draws they like to use. That one there is set where they ring it. Tried to get there, but just a touch late was number 11 Guy. And so we're going to get a change of players as the aforementioned crowd. I use aforementioned too much. I got to find another cool phrase for that. I'll work on it. I'll check out a lexicon. Maybe I'll buy a thesaurus. Yes, Charlie, a thesaurus is something that isn't a dinosaur. My kid's in honors English. There is no chance he knows what a thesaurus is. Rung around to the South St. Paul blue line, held in by the Packers now left to right. Behind the net, that's number 92, Jackson Horning. Horning on the right-hand side cycles it down, but Shanks is there before he's met by a couple of white jerseys, chips it out in the neutral zone, and then it is pushed back up by Moore. Now dancing. That was 18. Good play by Herb there, but just tried to make one too many blue shirts miss. Here comes Kraut, avoids one, pokes it up, doesn't quite get there, now maintains possession in his feet. He's got Savage supporting, as Beff is there too. Puck is chipped out, but not of the zone, momentarily held in, and then Beff has to retreat. Now turnover, tried to hit the diagonal pass, dangerous play as Horning was there, as he was almost sprung for a breakaway. Good hustle back by Beff as we are under 8 minutes now. South St. Paul walks out, short side, shot, it's loose. Never got to Clemens. Now it's low to high shot. Clemens rebound goes to the wrong side as a good play by John Teglin keeps that from being a wide open 6x4 as Clemens was going to his right. I think it went off the inside of his blocker there as the puck was tracked in front and it goes up. South St. Paul does a good job of a shot just a little too early, and there was 18 sitting on the back door. Jace Herb, if he could tap that in, I would be one very unhappy Raider right now. Instead, with 7:08 left, shots on goal are 9-8 in favor of the Raiders. And here come the boys in blue. Chipped up for Vanderhoff, a little too far, no ice. Nope, he waved it, and the guy in front called it, and so we'll go back 200 feet. Little miscommunication there by the boys in stripes. And so we will retreat back into Clemens' zone, far, far away from me. Staying out with the first line is Coach Klein and Stoffel. Zagoda, that one's lost. Now it goes up high. That's number 29. As I said, Givens and McClellan kept out there anytime the Raiders scoring trio was out. Now here comes Harris. Walk-ins, steps around, loose. Zagoda to Vanderhoff, shot. What a pass! Holy coal! That was impressive. I mean, Zagoda looked off Vanderhoff and stared down Cheney, sends the pass through a couple of Packers. Vanderhoff has to drop to a knee, opens up, and then buries one past an outstretched Cheney, and the Raiders are up 1-0. Beautiful play. Harris should get the second assist on this one. As you can see, everyone cheating over on Vanderhoff. Beautiful, beautiful play. Set up by transition hockey. And the Raiders are on the board 1-0 here with 6:40 left in this second frame. Here's Vanderhoff again. Chipped ahead. Yep, they've given the second assist to Harris. So Zagoda and Harris, the helpers. Saruba now retreating back in his zone. 6:25 left. Here comes Vanderhoff, slides it through the middle. Harris is going to have to change his route as there wasn't enough mustard on that. So it slid in. Now Zaruba, nice little poke there. Gets a stick on it. Now Zaruba's going to have to give chase as we end up with people in different positions. Dangerous, wide open, 4 guys here. Shot off the post! Turnover, all 5 Raiders were on one side. And off the iron go the Packers. They had Clemens beat. He was deep. He didn't expect that turnover. I don't think anyone on the Raiders side did, but the Packers jump on it. They had 4 unobstructed white jerseys going. The shot goes off the glove side iron. And thank you, Mr. Red Pipe. Now into the neutral zone. It's dropped. Here comes South St. Paul. That's 87. Going to ring it. Dumped in on Clemens. That's Roman Knight as they change. Now D to D it goes. Stretch pass up to Wahlstrom. Wahlstrom, they're going to say he got enough of it. Behind the net it goes. Here's Geib in the deep right corner of the Packers. Leaves it. Steps around it. And then dances. Geib, kind of a water bug there. Chips it behind the net to Beff, who's down pinching on the near side board. Low to high. Chums in the center is back up. Battling as he's on his offhand there. Now Geib sends it to the middle. Raiders got to be careful as we have a potential 2-on-1. Instead, it's going to go far. No ice. Is a good hustle by the Packer. Cole Stever ends up allowing the Packers to continue to battle. Now centering pass, Chumsland skates over that one. 3-on-2, they walk in. Packers saved by Clemens. That was on number 26. Caleb Erdman, and dangerous play. All the Raiders were on the near side watching. 3 are on the boards, 2 are leaving the zone. It jumps back. That's McClellan, number 8, who just rips that one, changes the angle, drags it. Left-hand shot coming across the middle, and woo! You can see, those of you that are Wild fans, first of all, I'm not sure why, but God bless you for sticking it out. But you see Marc-Andre Fleury has that habit, that tradition of thanking his pipes, and you can see why there, as half an inch either way, and that's going to be a completely different story as the Packers now ring it deep. Forecheck laid on. Raiders going to have to be careful. Wide open in front there was number 9, Roddick Simons. Now Teglin, chip pass, into the neutral zone it goes, turn around, and the Raiders again, that's offsides. Packers now tag up. Behind the net of Clemens is Zaruba. Steps out far side, then dances back in. South St. Paul now starting to put some pressure. Again, 2-3, just like everyone. Great pass. Here comes Vanderhoff. He's got to go to Vanderhoff. Shot as the net goes off. He slid in on his forehand. Tries to get the goalie Cheney to go. Does, but runs out of real estate as he goes backhand back to forehand. Tries to tuck it and just can't quite get it in there. Great stretch pass there, and he's pressured. He hits the brakes. Spun around, and a good job by the Packers defender, Nick Givens, to prevent that from being a wide open, actually 2-on-0, because on the other side was Zagoda. Now Zagoda chips it up. Vanderhoff going to be the first forechecker. Packers D-to-D, Givens to McClellan, back to Givens. Now diagonal stretch pass across. They get a stick on it, but it's going to be behind the red line, so that's going to end up with a South St. Paul retreat back into their zone. 4:01 left here in this first period. You're listening.
HCTV Sports is supported by Balanced Wealth Management, Retirement Planning and Expertise.
To allow us to bring you this, thank you again to all of our sponsors. Here comes Zagoda behind the Packers net on the near side, ends up with an extra twig. Into the neutral zone goes Harris. Now it goes D-to-D. Back across. Harris has it in his feet, and the Packers are offsides as they cross into the Raiders zone here. Low shot on goal game. Both teams really, really good D-zone coverage. The chances have come off of the rush, but once we get set up in the zone, everyone is getting pushed to the outside and preventing any really, really high dangerous chances. The couple that have been there, the Raiders have been tight on the D, swatting away rebounds, and the Packers have been doing a great job of blocking shots in front of Cheney. Now dumped in the corner after that offsides is Roman Knight. He's going to send it to the left-hand side. Behind the net is Beff. Beff now ridden off. Shanks will help him out. Beff ends up on his butt, and now here come the Raiders. Chipped ahead. Savage and Kraut working their way back. Beff now has it at the blue. Shanks will pick it up. He's ridden off, and so then Savage will have it. He chips ahead. Joining the rush is Niederkorn. Niederkorn walks in. Short side circle. Chips that up. He was met by Maurer. And now Kraut has it. He's dangling across the top. Gives it back across to Shanks. So 2 guys low are defenders. 2 guys up front. Now there's Beff in front. And a good shot. Opportunity by Savage. And Cheney able to grab that one. It was actually an off-speed. I would call that like a knuckleball, as Savage doesn't quite get as much as he would want on it. This is what we talk about with positional. Shanks is the one who rings it down behind the net to Beff. Both Raiders D are deep, as there you can see Niederkorn is sitting on the back side, but more importantly in front, Savage with a grade A opportunity. Into the neutral zone we go. 2:58 left here in the second period. Raiders up 1-0 on the goal by Vanderhoff. Assist to Zagoda and Harris. Puck kept in by Savage. Short side, walks, keeps possession behind the net. Looks low to high, gives it to Beff. Beff has it, shot, blocked. Luckily gets it back and then sails one up, and that would be 3 points if this was a different sport. Instead, we're going to have a face-off. They're going to say outside. That's what they're talking about, is the location. I'm going to be honest, to me that's an outside one, as Beff just airmailed it. I think the stick actually got ramped up, not the puck got ramped up. And so they're actually going to go all the way down, high sticking. Bold choice. I'm going to guess Coach Klein and Stoffel don't like that as much. Packers coaches, they will like that a lot. Oh, shout out for the organ. He actually came up and told me DJs is playing an actual organ. What are the odds you see that anymore? I heard they have a real goal horn here to the left in a mystery box. We're hoping that doesn't go off, as that'll signify a Packer goal. So now behind the play are the Raiders defenders. We see a little bit of a back and forth as the Raiders trying to get set up on the forecheck. There's Cheney, gives it to the short side. And now at the point, held in, Chumsland with a shot on goal, and then Wahlstrom with a really, really good deflection gets it right into the belly of Cheney. So again, we see back and forth where the Raiders are. Chumsland, number 26. I keep wanting to say Cheney. Chumsland, number 26, is the center. He's at the point right in front of the Raiders bench because forechecking that, I believe, was Carlson. So face-off now will ensue inside the Raiders zone. Excuse me, inside the Packers zone. I should be refreshed. A couple little unforced errors on my part. As there's another unforced error. Here come the Packers, 2-on-1, driving in, centering it. That one just slides under the stick of Tim Crack. As Carlson got beat off of that faceoff, and the Packers sprung two guys, unable to get a shot on goal. Now behind the net goes Zaruba. Zaruba was the lone defender on that one. He's on the near side boards, above the circle, steps around, walks to the middle. He's got some space, gets the blue line, looking for Geib. Centering pass, Geib. And McClellan gets his stick on Geibs, and that prevents Geib from being able to do too much there as far as putting the puck on net. And so as it trickles in on Cheney, we get another face-off inside the Packers zone. If you're going by time of possession, the ice has been tilted towards the Packers net. If you're going by shots on goal, not by much. South St. Paul doing a very, very good job of preventing a lot of rubber from getting to Cheney. Shots 11-9 in favor of the Raiders. Goal for the Raiders, Vanderhoff from Zagota and Harris. As Zagota wins that cleanly, Teglin now rings it down behind the net to Harris. Harris looking for Vandy. Said he gives it back to Teglin. Teglin now centered. Blocker to the corner by Cheney. That was Zagota and Vanderhoff in front. It hops over the pinching Beff stick, but behind is Teglin. Teglin now throws in the neutral zone. Zagota's going to send it in, but that's offside, so that'll give the Raiders time to set up. Teglin in the near side corner of the Raiders zone. Gives it behind the net to Beff. Beff. Bounce pass back to Teglin near side. South St. Paul 2-3 again. And so the Raiders able to break that. Now Vanderhoff to Harris. To Zagota. Oh, Cheney tries to get his glove on it. I don't think Vanderhoff realized how open the net was as he circled. Now Vanderhoff on the top tries to find Beff. Instead, turnover. Good back pressure by Zagota. That forces a dump. And now the Raiders going to have to work harder to get back to that one. Dangerous play here. South St. Paul all over the Raiders in their own corner. 2-on-2, Beff comes up with it, gives it to Zagota. Zagota pushed ahead to Harris. Harris now diagonal pass, too far for Vandy, and Snooker. That one's going to go across the old goal line. So we will have a face-off with 32.4 seconds left, deep inside the Raiders zone. That'll be to the right. Almost struck Vanderhoff there as he was flying the zone. Good attempt. To the right of Clemens, won by Zagota. Zaruba's going to ring it. Vanderhoff gets a touch on it, but won't help as it's just a little bit late. Got to get the timing down on that one. That's the second time that's happened, not for this line, but second time overall. They've run that, and they haven't been able to get the wing to the wall in time, so it ends up flying out of the zone, and the Raiders will go back where they started. Up top for the Packers again. Gibbons and McClellan, that's who they're matching against the Raiders' first line. Now play off the near side, chipped up, here we go. Raiders have it, this is Vanderhoff with Zagota. Vandy waits around the drag. McClellan does a great job of sliding to take away Vanderhoff's options, and then Cheney ends up poke checking it away, and we're back down inside the Raiders zone. Beff and Zagota battling near side. Here's Beff, just trying to eat it, 1 second left, centering pass, whistle blows. And Vanderhoff took exception to the late shot on the radio. We're going to take a quick break here. Raiders lead South St. Paul 1-0 after 2 periods. All right. Shots on goal 11-9 in favor of the Raiders here. We're going to get a re-look at this goal. Great job by Harris here. He walks in, and look at the effort by Zagota. Harris slides around, gives it to Zagota, who looks it off, and Vanderhoff from one knee drops and buries the one-timer. Not much Cheney can do when the puck changes direction that many times at that spot. So after 2 periods of play here in South St. Paul on the TV, we're going to take a intermission break. You'll be back here for third period action on HCTV.
Push that trash that way, not this way. Come on.
Oh, hey there. Do you like HCTV?
That's one small step for Hastings and one giant leap for community television.
Do you want a custom video that promotes your business or organization and gives you the results you're looking for? As an HCTV sponsor, our staff will work with your business or organization to create a custom video to promote your brand. You also have an option of getting a shout out in every sporting event we cover. And that's 3 points for your business. So support HCTV today! Go to hastingstv.org/sponsors for more information or to give a one-time donation.
There it is. The Hastings Raiders lead the South St. Paul Packers by a score of 1-0 after 34 minutes as the Packers take the ice. South St. Paul will be to the right. Hastings will be to the left. Shots on goal. A barn burner here. 11-9 after 34 minutes. That is not a misprint. 11-9. Usually you get that in one period for each team. Instead, we've got that for 2 periods each. Last period had a total of 3 shots on each. As you're looking at Wyatt Cheney and then Ryan Clemens in net. Raiders going to have to get some scoring opportunity from somebody besides that first line. We've seen great pressure, especially with that line of Geib and Wahlstrom and Chumsland. We've seen some of the dirty goals come from them in previous games. It'd be nice to see one of those pop here today. As there we see Ryan Clemens, number 29, in net for the Raiders. He has stopped all 9 that he has faced. For the Raiders, the winner today will determine what time the Raiders play tomorrow. And we will be back here broadcasting it live on AM 1416, AM 1460 KDWA. For those of you tuning in on HCTV, Hunter gets a break from this as he is off until, hold on, let me check here, January 4th versus North St. Paul as the boys swimming and driving team takes on the Polars of North St. Paul. And then boys hoops for the Raiders against St. Thomas on 1-5, January 5th. They'll also be joined by Town Square, who's tuning in today. So we are everywhere tonight. Ubiquitous is a word I like. Here becomes the puck drop as the Raiders now battle inside the neutral zone. Puck won momentarily, now walking in. Drag, stick by Beff. Good job. That denies Roddick Simmons as he was driving in. Now Beff gets it to Harris. Harris slides up, gets it chipped ahead. Harris is going to be offsides. They're not going to call it as the Raiders now are going to retreat anyway as the Packers bounce it into the near side. They're going to say no icing. Beff now delays, ridden into the boards. He's hit hard by Roman Knight, and coming crashing in down that's Zaruba, his defensive partner, and then number 24 is Zagoda. Zagoda now, outlet pass to the left-hand side for Vanderhoff. Goes off of his stick onto the stick of Ray Rosales for the Packers. Beff in the neutral zone picks it up. Raiders going to have to retreat as they take up. Cheney sets it deep in his zone. Now to the right-hand side. Now it's a pass from McClellan to his partner Davies, but the official helps that one out. Geib now going to send it down deep right for Cheney. Cheney mishandles it. Puck is loose behind the net. Raiders overskate it. That was Wahlstrom. Now centering pass just goes through the triangle of Wahlstrom before he drops it back onto the stick of Schultz. Schultz retreats behind his net, sends it over to Davies. Davies now looks, number 92 sitting there on the half wall. That's Jackson Hornung. He gets it out, goes to the right-hand side. Here come the Packers. Drop pass, wrister, shot, and held on by Clemens for his first shot of this third period. 15:36 left. Raiders lead 1-0 over the Packers here in Doug Woog Arena. While Hunter gets a day off, yours truly will be back here tomorrow at some point. We'll figure out what time, as the Raiders will take on whoever their opponent is. We'll show the bracket and talk about that later. Bounce pass behind the net. Carlson now going to ring it. Packers are onto that one. Raiders have not been able to spring that set play now. Here's Savage in the neutral zone. Bounces behind him. That's going to be number 7, Austin Shanks, who retreats all the way behind Ryan Clemens. Stepping out near side, walks through the middle. Dangerous play. It's in his skates. Turned over, but Carlson there at the top of the circles. So now he's going to funnel it back to Teglin. Teglin on the left-hand side, up. Finds Kraut. Kraut, diagonal pass across for Savage. Savage looking to the middle, behind the net. Delays, low to high. That's a wrister from Teglin, deflected in front by Kraut. That one goes up and over and into the right-hand corner where it finds Shankstick, who floats one up high into the rafters. So KDWA very, very busy. We'll be broadcasting on the radio tomorrow We'll be streaming it live on KDWA.com as well. Trey Lauer going to come in, do a little camera work for me. And then on Thursday, I'll be on the radio. Trey will be on the radio. Hunter will be on Town Square TV, helping out as they cover the first and third place games. Hopefully, Raiders are in that championship game. We'll see. And then Trey, busy Thursday as the girls and boys holiday tournament for hoops picks up. So he'll be broadcasting from the Hastings High School gymnasium. Behind the net, that puck bounces to the near side. Vanderhoff has it hop over a stick. Packers pick it up, throw that one up into the neutral zone, too far for Knight, and that's going to cross the goal line. So we're going to go back where we started for a face-off in the Packers zone. So Trey on the radio, 5:15 for Hastings boys versus Prescott boys. Great tradition there. And then at 7 o'clock for the Hastings girls versus Northfield. And then we'll see what happens Friday. But the girls hockey team in action starting tomorrow as well as they face Eastview for a 5 o'clock puck drop. So updates will be coming as Tyler McCarville works on his texting skills. Raiders lose that face-off but end up with the puck in the zone. Vanderhoff, top of the circle. Rister misses far side. And now Harris battles has it. He's going to ring that up to the top. That's Niederkorn, D to D. Zaruba, one-timer off the glove of Cheney, goes into the right-hand corner. Vanderhoff retrieves. He's working his way up the circle, interchanges with Zaruba. Dangerous play, you could see that coming. Tries to throw it to Zaruba, but number 87 was there for the Packers. Steps around Vanderhoff, diagonal shot! Misses as McClellan was cheating down. One-timer just flies the net. And the Raiders escape now in front. Vanderhoff, drags, penalty. He's down as he was going from his forehand to his backhand, and his stick is lifted. He goes down, and the first penalty of the game goes to the Packers. What a quick 30 seconds of events there. We'll see who's going. It looks like that's number 4 for South St. Paul, the defender. That's Ray Rosales. South St. Paul, within 5 seconds, almost ties it, almost gives up another goal and takes a penalty. And so we'll listen for the official word here as the Raiders now at 14:02 will have 2 minutes of the man advantage. Back and forth they go. Vanderhoff forces a pass low, and the Packers pick it up and ring it down behind the net as Clem sets it up for Beth. Official announcement. That's a hook to Rosales. Raiders unable to set up. They had their first good chance. And then since then, it's been Raiders retreat. Stepping out to the left-hand side. Beth too far for Carlson. That goes up, and the Packers are just going to send it back down again. That one floats up. Clemens leaves it, though, and the Packers are right there. Good forecheck by Tim Kreck. And unfortunately for the Raiders, now they have to slide up. Outnumbered. Beth now goes in. He's hooked down. They're not going to call that as it's rung behind the net. Refs have been loose. Neither team been dirty. Very clean game. And you can't really blame now. Centering pass, shot, saved by Cheney as a good set play from behind the net. Harris ends up putting that into the 5-hole of Cheney, but he's able to slap those knees down and save that and keep it to a 1-0 game. Behind the net, good setup play there. Again, that line of Vanderhoff, Zagoda, and Harris. Zagoda now wins that puck back to Beth. Beth diagonal across to Carlson. Carlson from the elbow, deflected. Good centering pass to Zagoda. He ramps it, but just a little bit too high. Needs to use something lower in the golf leg. Now one-timer bounces. Vanderhoff sends it over, and now South St. Paul is going to send it 200 feet. Clemens going to stop it. Good forecheck again. Now South St. Paul is going to loop back. That's the same guy. Nope, this is number 9, Roddick Simmons. Carlson steps out with speed, comes in, gets his own, hits the delay. Centering pass for Zagoda, goes off his heel. Turn around, here comes South St. Paul. They've got numbers. That's number 29, the defender, Nick Gibbons. He's going to dump it in and retreat back. So South St. Paul content just to keep the Raiders back. 22 seconds left on this power play. Largely ineffective. Best chance was that centering pass to Zagoda that he ramps up too high. Zagoda now sends it up. And the Raiders were in the middle of a change, so no Carlson there. Zaruba's going to go back. They'll have 9 seconds at best. They're just going to get the zone. Near side breakout. Up 2. That was to Geib. Now Shanks has it on his backhand. Shot. Misses short side on Cheney. Held in the zone. This is Geib again. Shot. And then Cheney just shifts into that and catches it in his chest. And we are back to 5-on-5 hockey. So South St. Paul able to kill off that penalty here. 11:51 left in this period. You can just, like you can see Guy with a really, really good chance here. The Raiders in transition, unable to get somebody close, and that shot, about waist high, should be saved pretty much every time from there, and Cheney does so. Stepping in to take this face off. This is Chelmsland. One clean lead. Tegland has it, walks, gives it back to the half wall, looking for that better chance. Now it goes across to Carlson. Shot high, and Cheney holds on and stares it down in his glove to make sure he's got it. So we'll have a face off from the left side this time. Busy week in sports, as I mentioned. Boys tournament today. Girls hockey starts tomorrow. Girls and boys basketball starts Thursday. Wrestling's got to be doing something. It's so hard to find their results. There needs to be like a wrestling hub. I'm sure somebody can tell me what it is. I have no idea, though. Now Carlson, off of that puck to the goal point, sends it in near side. Cheney, good stick on it. And now South St. Paul tries to get it out, unable to. Carlson centers it. That goes off Wallstrom's feet after it hit Tim Kreck's stick. Now over to Carlson again from the point. Shot gets through, but to the short side, and it bounces around. Now on the short side again. Guy goes behind the net, has it. Low to high, interchange. Tegland centering pass. That goes off Chelmsland's stick, but didn't get enough on it. So the Raiders trying to create traffic. South St. Paul again doing a great job of keeping all these shots from the outside where you expect Cheney to stop him. He's been very good on these so far. Now trying to get it across the front. That was Savage trying to drive through, Wallstrom driving through, trying to get to that dirty area in between the hash, unable to. And now South St. Paul's going to ring it. Carlson there, floats one, puck is loose. Down goes Wallstrom as he's cross-checked in front. No call. Coach Klein disagrees. As now South St. Paul's going to send it 200 feet. The puck was coming right to Wallstrom. Ends up on the ice. You can see the Raiders here as this puck is rung around. And Carlson just grabs it, rifles it right away. And Wallstrom hammered. The puck is 8 feet away from him. And he takes the cross-checks to the choppers. You can see Coach Klein talking to the officials. No call, though. So that won't happen. Also, Charles Colvin, not sure if you're aware, I'm working right now, so you can call me later, buddy. Face-off, won by the Raiders. Beff gives it over. Now it goes to Zaruba on the far side, trying to get it. Good job by Cheney, sent to the near side corner. Maybe he's calling to ask me what a thesaurus is. Beff at the blue line, holds it in, bounces out. Packers have it, but they're just going to give it to Zaruba. Zaruba now steps in, walks, gives it up. There's Crouch, short side, diagonal pass, looking for Shanks. That just hit a stick as it was working its way through. South St. Paul floats it up into the feet of Zaruba, who chips it ahead. Kraut now has it again. Raiders are going to retreat to maintain possession. Beff has it, steps up near side. Shanks walks across, and that's going to be offsides as Will Savage, a little bit anxious there, gets across. So the face-off will come on the near side boards. 9:55 left in this game. All right, I'm getting help from my sister here. We'll see what I can come with. Preceding, bygone, ancient, erstwhile. I like erstwhile. We're going to go with erstwhile. But I don't think that's exactly right with the aforementioned, but we'll go erstwhile. As the puck is iced down, we'll see if I can mix in some of this stuff. The big question is, Angie Collins, how many different websites did you use to find those? I'm going to go with an over-under on 2. I like Preceding. Preceding is going to work. I got to figure out how to figure out where to slide in erstwhile. Big shout out to everyone tuning in and listening, tuning in and watching. Appreciate all the support here. Our sponsors appreciate it as well. Make sure to throw some dollars their way in this holiday season. Raiders maintain possession. Beff now centering. Puck is loose. Battle in front. South St. Paul, good job collapsing in front. That's McClellan again as a short side shot. Harris forced that one, and the Raiders go the other way. Beff now diagonal pass up. Harris could have maybe gone low to high on that one instead. Maybe created a little bit more space. Instead, tried to thread the needle through the shin pads. Unable to do so. Now, with 9:20 left, the Raiders are back in their zone. Zagota and Zaruba in the corner. Zagota comes out with it. Chipped up and floats. Good play. That ends up on the stick of number 4, Ray Rosales. Up to the near side boards. Beff now on the right-hand side, right in front of the penalty box, in front of the organ. Very cool to have an organ here in town. I have an app with it. Now here's South St. Paul drive, centering. Good stick by Zagota. Great defensive play to prevent anything getting to the net. Now here comes Zaruba. Zaruba leaves it for Harris. Harris sauces it right to left for Vanderhoff. Area pass. Vandy steps in. Wrister. And a good save by Cheney on that beautiful pass. Beautiful pass. Finds Vanderhoff on that left-hand side there. As we can see, Harris does a great job setting him up. And that just, it pulls the defender out because it goes off the wall. So the D is playing it off the wall. Vandy, though, anticipates it, steps in on his offhand. We talked about some of the options he's going to have on his offhand. That's one of them where he can cut to the middle for that shot. South St. Paul now, they throw that puck into the neutral zone, goes clear into the Raiders zone. Niederkorn reverses it up for awaiting Wallstrom. Wallstrom ahead to Chumsland, but it ends up back on Wallstrom's stick. Dangerous play, dancing through the middle. Works out, though, as here it goes left to right on Geib's stick. But that's only momentary possession as the Raiders now forced to retreat. Geib hammered hard. Boy, I hate to give the pancake to a Packer, but that's a beautiful hit by Schultz. And so he's in the lead right now. Perkins, again, feel free to sponsor me by getting some apricots, if you know. So I'm getting old man Pete Schultz here, former neighbor. That's his kid here. Maybe old man Schultz, since I'm giving his kid a shout out, can buy me some pancakes. Regardless, puck is dumped in on Clemens. He's going to leave it back for Niederkorn. Good play. Reverses it. And Carlson's going to throw it in the neutral zone. That's going to go over the top. They're going to say no ice. Good call. Jake Maurer now slides behind the net. There's Wallstrom, centering pass, looking for Carlson. And again, there's 5 white jerseys between the hash. Nothing there for the Raiders, and they get called for too many on the ice. As Kraut hops on early, it looks, I don't want to say it's necessarily him. He's the one that continued. They're going to have Kraut serve it. And this is a critical too many. One Raider too many too early. So bench minor. Going to be served by number 20, Braden Kraut. Too many on the ice. And so now with 7:34 left in this third period, Raiders going to go to the kill the first time. South St. Paul, 19.2% on the power play. Raiders over 88% on the kill. Puck finds Harris. He's going to flip it, and down goes Chumsland. He's not going to stop. He's pressuring hard. Cheney's there. Chumsland meets him and forces that to the right-hand side. Chumsland again, great stick. Harris now going to take over. Chumsland retreats to the blue. Raiders pressuring. Harris has it. Down low, looks, delays, sends it back in the neutral zone for Teglin. Teglin's going to go over to Zaruba, and the Raiders are going to try and kill some time here. Zaruba now floats one all the way down, and now Harris is going to be the first forechecker. Cheney has it, pushes it back, opposite direction of Harris, and now Vanderhoff on the ice. Diagonal pass in the neutral zone. Harris comes up, gets a stick on it. Teglin pushes it to him. Harris comes in on the off wing, short side, drags through 2, and Cheney covers up as we hit. South St. Paul might want to stop their clock. As they do, 3 precious seconds tick off for the Packers. Faceoff will start inside the Packers zone. They got 1:10 left on this penalty to the Raiders. Too many men on the ice, served by number 20, Braden Kraut. Faceoff, Zagota gets it, sends it in the neutral zone for Zaruba, who's just going to retreat and buy time. And he's going to launch that 200 feet, skips over a Packer. And then now, there's going to be a digger as into the net goes Vanderhoff, but that was just a toe pick, and so no penalty as Cheney resets. Bigger issue for the Raiders is they're now in their zone. Packers at the point, Schultz shots, that goes just off the top of Clemens' right pad, and now it will be a 5-on-3 as Zaruba takes a cross check. They're going to call interference there on the Raiders. We'll see if South St. Paul uses their timeout now. 6:11 left here. Yep, timeout with that. So I'm going to take a commercial break on the radio side. We'll be right back in 60 seconds. Raiders up 1-0 late on the Packers on your home for AM radio and sports, KDWA.
Timeout, South St. Paul.
Be interesting to see what South St. Paul does here, what they dial up. Again, 5-on-3 for 36 seconds here. One of the things that's interesting, this used to be a situation where you end up with guys, 2 up top, working side to side, kind of that 5 of die look. As what you're doing is going back and forth, trying to get that killer up top to commit wrong and then rotate. What we see now is much more the continuation of that 1-3-1. as you end up with so many teams are so used to playing that they're just not as comfortable working on that side-to-side too high look. So it'll be interesting to see what we have there. Big crowd here, big student sections both. I'm standing right behind the South St. Paul student section, and then maybe about 5 rows down from that, the Raiders student section. As we are joined back on AM 1460 KDWA, that power play about to ensue. The South St. Paul Packers will have 36 seconds of 2-man advantage, 5-on-3 here, as in the box for the Raiders is number 23, Sawyer Zaruba. He takes interference, and then coming out in 36 seconds, Braden Kraut. So to kill for the Raiders, this is going to be Sawyer Chumslin taking the face off. You've got 2 defensemen out there in Carlson and Teglin. Stepping in for the Packers, Ray Rosales. Raiders win it. Carlson rings it up, but not enough. So now Carlson pushes out. Puck goes to the top. Schultz, back door. Back to Schultz, walks in, top of the circle. Then one-timer shot, goal. That's the too high that I've been talking about that I don't see enough teams use. They set it up well. That's going to be number 9, Roddick Simmons. He gets the goal, assist to Schultz. Number 6, we'll see who gets the other helper before that. And the Raiders now are tied with 5:59 left here in this third period. And more importantly, they still have to kill another 2 minutes. Puck goes low to high from 9, goes back over to that elbow, and then they set up the too high. There you see the 5 at diamond like we talked about. And now here comes South St. Paul setting up again. They still have the man advantage for another 140. There's Simons. Simons waiting high. Puck goes up to Schultz. That's McClellan. Gets the assist. Now here's McClellan. Big shot off of the shoulder of Clemens. He never saw that. Goes over to the left-hand side. Here's 4. Ray Rosales. Rosales dangles. McClellan has it. Hop his stick. Fortuitous break for the Raiders. And here comes Chumslin. He gives it back up. Now Rosales has it. Harris going to be the first forechecker. Kreck has it. Goes left to right. Rosales. Packers now finally with possession. Enter the zone. Ridden out by Chumslin into the referee. Packers now have a turnover at the red line. Battling. Good job by Chumslin to push it ahead. He's going to retreat, so the Raiders and the Packers have even numbers in the neutral zone momentarily before the Packers can break that forecheck. Teglin now gets a good swat at it, goes behind the net, reverses it, but nobody home. And that's what happens when you're short a man. Carlson had to go up front now. Up at the top, Harris trying to block it. Delay, shot, hits Teglin's skate, and Chumslin is going to send it down 200 feet. Raiders going to change all 4. Cheney has it go behind his stick, and that allows the Raiders to get in and set up. In the neutral zone, Vanderhoff, delay, steps around, turnover. Here comes number 5, Tim Kreck. Kreck on the right-hand side, driving in, centering. Stick check by Clemens, and that ends up on the stick of Zagota, who's going to throw it up. 12 seconds left until Zaruba gets out. Raiders and Packers tied 1 apiece. 4:20 left here in this third period. 5 seconds until Zaruba gets out. So this penalty is going to expire, but the damage is done as the Packers even it up on a 5-on-3 advantage. Now centering. Here comes the Packers. Turnover, good later job by Zaruba to send it up. And here comes Vanderhoff. Puck, again, one of the things with the Raiders is they ride this first line kind of a lot of time, so we'll see how much they got left in their legs. Behind the net, Cheney leaves it. Bounce pass, near side, stepped up by Carlson. That's too far for Harrison, so the Packers will get it in their zone. Dangerous play here. All 3 forwards too high for the Raiders. Here comes number 92, centering, and covered by Clemens. And Teglin stops. That's number 87 on the doorstep, Roman Knight. Horning just ran out of space, and the Raiders did a good job of making sure there was nothing there for the play. Horning's driving down, left-handed shot, leaving it for Knight, but Knight just another lefty on that shorthand side, not much he can do. So we're going to get a full line change here at 3:29. Again, low shots on goal, 15-11. Both teams doing a great job in their house. Lone goals, second period on a rush. Vanderhoff, he gets the assist, or he gets the goal, assisted by Zagota and Harris. And then Raiders take a unforced error, too many on the ice. Then that sets up a penalty to Zaruba. Now back pass in front. Good job by Geib to be there. He's going to leave it as Tegland comes up the ice. Crosses the blue. Centering pass just too far. Carlson going to hit the red line. And it goes from right to left. Dead in front. And a good shot by Wahlstrom. Trying to catch the netminder Cheney unaware. Doesn't do that as Cheney does a good job getting a stick on it, steering it up into the netting. Hey, Peter Schultz, you're not the only Peter Schultz I know. Just so you know, old man Pete Schultz, yeah, he's the guy I grew up across the street. You're the guy I babysit in high school in the classroom across from me. So you're not the only Peter Schultz, Peter Schultz. Here we go, Raiders now, face off. At the blue line, Zaruba chips it. Vanderhoff on his backhand, driving, shot. Awkward save by Cheney, but does a good job steering it to the corner. Now pushed out to Beth. Beth now, that one's deflected, but Cheney sees it into his glove and holds on. Again, you can see what they're trying to do as they're really just trying to create rebounds. Harris was in front, Zagota was in front, and Cheney, kind of an unorthodox save there, but does a good job of steering it to the corner. That prevents any kind of rebound situation. Raiders now in front. That one won by Zagota. Shot, goal! Off the face-off! Zagota kind of does it all himself. He wins it back to Harris in the slot. Harris was tied up. Zagota grabs it. Right shot coming off the left-hand side and just on the ice beats Cheney at the 2:49 mark. So things continue to get interesting here. Zagota wins it back, and then Harris is tied up, and Zagota is able to just walk the center as we now have a face-off at center ice. Raiders up 2-1 with 2:49 left. Zagota cleanly wins it, but Beth doesn't see it. Harris there, though, gets it out to Vanderhoff. Now the Raiders, we'll see how they play this last 2:40. South St. Paul has done a good job counter-punching, so the Raiders are going to have to do a good job making sure that they don't let them spring it. Centering pass, Vanderhoff goes in, it's in his skates, delays, tries to tuck behind him, and that puck squirts out to Beth. Beth now centering, tipped by Vanderhoff. Vanderhoff again, shot off of the defender, and now South St. Paul going to send it. That's going to go 200 feet, and so we will have a face-off 2:16 inside the zone. Again, beautiful play. I think Zagota just got lost by the center for South St. Paul, as he didn't tie up. What that allowed is Zagota to step to the right because that defender on the hash was all over Harris. Zagota just uncontested grabs it on his forehand and doesn't wait. One of the key things people watching home is he doesn't dust the puck, meaning he doesn't stick handle. He gets it and he shoots it. Now face off, won by the Raiders. Carlson pinches, rings it down to Kraut on that deep right-hand side. Circling, gives it over to Carlson, far side. Centering pass, that shot, Shanks gets a piece of it. Now here goes 92 trying to fly the zone. Does so, but that puck is chipped up over the top of Carlson. Carlson now battling. That's Horna. Chipped from Carlson. Kraut going to have to get there as the Packers push down. We'll keep an eye on the netminder Cheney. Raiders now exit the zone. Here comes Savage on the right-hand side. Looking, delays, chips it down deep. He goes around Schultz. Schultz goes down, and Savage is going to go to the box for an interference. That's an unforced error. Savage doesn't realize it's on him. No, it's not on him. That's going to be on South St. Paul. The Packers go to the box for 2 minutes for interference. We'll take a look at this. Savage comes in on the right-hand side, steps around, and I'm not sure who they called that on. South St. Paul doesn't have a numbers on the old scoreboard up here as far as who took the penalty. So we'll wait and get the official announcement. Zagota now wins it. D to D. Beth to Vanderhoff. Raiders got to be really careful here now. That is Tim Kreck, number 5, for interference. Now a shot. Vanderhoff tries to get it through here. So 124 Raiders just have to not force the error. They've got the man advantage. Here's Vanderhoff, short side, up high to Beth. Beth looking. Short side, Vanderhoff, wrister, blockered. Puck is deflected up and over the net by Harris, and he'll touch it. And oh, what an unfortunate turn of events for the Raiders, honestly. He almost pops it in. It wouldn't have been a goal because it was a high stick, but the bigger thing is Harris has to touch it basically, and now it's going to go 200 feet. So Cheney is going to leave. And the Raiders will have a face-off with 1:10 in their zone. They got 1:29 of power play as Kreck is in the box here. So it's 5-on-5 for all practical purposes. Zagoda's going to step in. Raiders just need to get this puck out of their zone. Net 200 feet away is empty for South St. Paul. Cheney on the bench. Face-off won by the Packers. Wrister blocked by Carlson. Point-blank shot. And the Raiders get in front of it. Now another one blocked by Zagoda. He chips it out. And Harris sends it 200 feet and misses the net. That's one Harris would want back. A little bit of poise, has plenty of time and space, can skate it out, just get the red and dump it instead. 58.6 seconds left, and we have another face-off as a Twig is down too. Shots on goal, 19-11. Raiders lead the Packers 2-1. South St. Paul tied it on a 5-on-3. Goal by Roddick Simmons, now face-off. Won by the Raiders. Beff is chipping it out, held in momentarily. Now Harris again forces that play. If he just skates the red, that's a goal. Or at least he delays instead. Now we have another face-off. So Raiders playing with fire here. Just a little bit more poise. You don't have to push it so far. You don't have to leave it so early. They were out of the zone both of those times. So it's going to be up to Zagoda again to win this. That puck goes back South St. Paul's way from the point. D-to-D, one-timer, shot. That fired wide. Carlson has it. He's going to send it out before he's hit. Puck in front, Beff. Good job chipping in the neutral zone. 38 seconds left. Zagoda has it before it's chipped past him to Beff. Beff to Carlson. Carlson, near side, on the boards. Harris has it. Chips it ahead to Zagoda. Zagoda hits the post. 28 seconds left. Raiders cannot close this out. Now here come the Packers. Chip around Carlson. Clemens, get back in your net. Good gravy. Rung around by Beff. Harris again. Now it's deflected. Harris forces another one. And the Raiders with 13 seconds left. A cavalcade of errors for the Raiders as, again, Carlson does a good job. Chips it up. Harris now poised. Zagoda all alone, plenty of time and space, nobody between him and the net, and he just forces the shot, goes off the post. So in tennis, that's a lot of unforced errors. 11-19, Raiders win that, chipped out, bounces over the stick of McClellan. Harris giving chase, 8 seconds left. McClellan right to left to number 29, Givens, sent up, and that's going to be into, I believe, the Raiders bench. So it'll be a center ice face-off with 2.9 left. Woo! Barring a massive, like unheard of collapse, Raiders will advance. Center ice, puck drop, and the Raiders win by a score of 2-1. In the first round against South St. Paul. On the radio, we will take a commercial break, come back with our game recap here on AM 1460 KDWA. On the TV side, the Raiders, they made it interesting, didn't they? They led 1-0 from really the second period on. The third period, we double up on goals here as South St. Paul capitalized on a 5-on-3, and then Zagoda wins a draw. This is the power play goal for South St. Paul. I talked beforehand about setting up a 5-a-die. They do to perfection. And Roddick Simons hammers one home on that left to right one-timer buried. But Zagoda comes back clutch, wins a face-off. You can see Harris tied up there, which lets Zagoda walk in free. Hey, centers, here's your job on a D-zone face-off. Do not let the center get loose. South St. Paul made to pay when they do that. And so that is our final score here. The bracket for this tournament coming up. So Woodbury will face Farmington at 5 p.m. Hastings will face Cambridge Isandi at 7. By the way, Hunter, Cambridge Isandi was down 3-2 the whole game, comes back and wins 5-3. So that will be our 7 p.m. puck drop tomorrow night on KDWA. Hunter will be back with Town Square TV for the championship and third place game. Raiders, what do we have going on here? Let's zoom out of that as we now have an issue. Raiders, I'm just going to cut to commercial break here. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to HCTV. Do you want our credits here? Hunter Pinky, producer, director, announcer, me, Josh Colvin, camera operators, Tori Selner and Ben Brannon. Hunter Pinky again on graphics and replay. Thank you to the sponsors for HCTV. They will be back on the air on January 4th against as the the Hastings swimming and diving team will take on North St. Paul. So for everyone from HCTV, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great night. Raiders win 2-1 over the Packers.